I remember I grabbed my toothbrush and I start brushing my teeth. But as I'm brushing my teeth, I start to realize that there's such a weird taste on my toothbrush. And when I turned it on and it started vibrating, I ended up smelling it. And the smell that came off, I gotta say, definitely was from my girlfriend. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba, and welcome back to another crazy but embarrassing story. So this story all takes place, I want to say, almost 3 years ago. Now, 3 years ago, I was making videos, I was making content, and obviously telling stories like I do now. But then I gotta say the craziest thing ended up happening. And that was, well, I got into a relationship. I know it sounds insane, me getting into a relationship, knowing all the stories that I tell on this channel, but I gotta be brutally honest with you, I'm still a helpless romantic to this day. So if I have the opportunity to fall in love and be with someone, I'm gonna do it. And honestly, for all the people watching this video, you guys should too. You don't want to die alone. Well, at least I think you don't want to die alone. I don't really know. But going on with the story, I remember I ended up dating this girl that I ended up meeting online. She was a great girl, and honestly, me and her got along great. She had beautiful brown hair and amazing eyes. And I gotta say, to this day, I still sometimes do miss her. I probably shouldn't be saying that because she might be watching my videos, but if you are watching, hey, how you doing? I heard you got a new boyfriend now. Guess what? He's still not better than me. Okay, sorry. The whole internet didn't need to hear that, but going on. I remember when me and this girl first started dating, I'm not gonna lie, we would always, and I mean always, do the devil's tango. And we would do it so much to the point where we would be in bed for longer than 12 hours a day. It was actually really depressing when you think about it, but at the same time, we were doing the devil's tango. So I gotta say, it was pretty epic. But this would go on for almost weeks on end, and no joke, it led to a point where I would have no time to actually make videos, which is basically my full-time job. And every time I would go on my computer and want to record a video, she would always come into my office and say, hey babe, we should hang out. Want to go do something? And every time she always told me that she wanted to go do something, in reality that something was going to go and do the devil's tango. I remember a lot of the time I would say yes and realize that it was a big mistake, because since I wasn't putting time into my videos and content, well, my views ended up dropping. It got to the point where I started to worry if I could still make it as a full-time content creator on the internet. But then I remember there was one day, and this day was so insane to me that to this day it has scarred me, because I remember once again I would go into my office and I would sit down and I would turn on my computer, pull in my microphone, and right as I'm about to start recording, my girlfriend walks in and says, hey babe, honestly, I'm really in the mood. Oh, that's great babe, but I really gotta record this video. Oh, come on babe, we can make it quick, seriously, it'll be fun. Honestly, I would, but I gotta really do this. I remember it got to a point where she wouldn't take no for an answer, and she ended up just taking off all her clothes right in front of me. But me knowing that this channel was suffering, I had to literally ignore her. I ended up turning around, pressing the record button, and my girlfriend knows that if I press the start recording button, no one, and I mean absolutely no one, is allowed to mess with me. I remember she ended up walking out of my room and going towards the bedroom. And me, I ended up recording 2 stories that day, and after I finished filming my story times, I remember I ended up walking back into my bedroom and I saw that she was not in there. I remember I started to look around, questioning where she went, until I saw the bathroom door closed. And I remember when I was about to walk up to it and open it, I realized that it was locked. And I gotta say, it was definitely strange. But it wasn't strange because she was in the bathroom. It was strange because she locked the door. When I realized the door was locked, I was really confused, because usually we would never lock doors since, we were so used to seeing each other without clothing on. So I remember I ended up putting my ear up against the door to kind of see what she was doing. And I do realize this was creepy to do, but still, I was just curious. And I remember as I put my ear up to the door, I ended up hearing her making weird noises with her mouth, and I heard a vibration. Now, I found it really weird that she was in the bathroom with something vibrating, and it got to the point where I knocked on the door and said, hey, you good in there? Oh, yeah, babe, don't worry about it. And instantly, the vibration noise turns off. I was so confused, and I remember she ends up coming out of the bathroom, looks at me, and then walks away. And me, I ended up walking inside the bathroom to see what was going on, and I started to look around for what was the vibration. I thought maybe she was hiding a toy of some sort, or a devil's tango toy that she would have when I wasn't available. Which, to be fair, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be upset if she did. Her energy was way more than mine when it came to doing the devil's tango. So if she needs to let it out, she's gotta let it out. But as I looked around the bathroom, I saw that there was no toys of the sort anywhere. And that's when I walked up to her and said, hey babe, what were you doing in the bathroom? Oh, I was just brushing my teeth. Okay. I mean, we didn't even have dinner yet, and you're already brushing your teeth? Yeah, it's just for me to, you know, make sure my teeth stay white. Okay. Sounds good, I guess. At this moment, I thought she was lying to me, but honestly, I did not question too much of it because, well, I'm not going to accuse my girlfriend of lying. Like, you know, this is kind of personal. And then after 2 weeks later, things got a lot more intense because I remember I kept basically focusing more on my channel and recording videos. And then there was one specific day I remember so vividly because I remember I ended up walking into my bedroom and once again, my girlfriend wasn't there. I go to the bathroom door and I realized it was locked with a vibrating noise. And that's when I ended up knocking on the door saying, babe, why is the bathroom door locked again? What are you doing in there? Oh, nothing. I remember she ended up opening the door and she ended up pulling up her pants. And I couldn't tell if she was actually going to the bathroom or she was doing something else. But that's when I asked her, so like, what are you doing in here? Oh, I was just brushing my teeth. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'll join you. You want to brush your teeth with me? I mean, yeah, why not? I remember I ended up going to go grab my toothbrush and she ends up grabbing hers. And I ended up putting toothpaste on mine and started brushing my teeth. I remember the whole time though, my girlfriend was watching me in total shock. And I wasn't sure why until I remember when I pulled the toothbrush out of my mouth, I ended up smelling it and realizing that it smelled like something super familiar. And when I ended up putting it up against my nose and smelling it even more, that's when my girlfriend's eyes opened wider. And I looked at her and I said, babe, why does this toothbrush smell like you? Well, you see, like, it's the only thing that vibrates in this house. And like, I didn't know how you felt about like toys and stuff. So like, honestly, like, I don't know. There's like a lot I have to explain. At that moment, I remember just looking at her and I'm like, wait, are you telling me that you put my toothbrush inside you? Babe, it's not like that. At that moment, I start freaking out. And I remember I ended up putting my toothbrush straight into the garbage can because I'm like, bro, this thing was just in my mouth. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't know how many guys out there, you know, brushed their teeth. Well, I mean, I hope everyone brushes their teeth, but I don't know how many guys out there would put something that was in their girlfriend in their mouth. Like, it just makes no sense. But I start totally panicking. And I remember I ended up looking at my girlfriend. I said, babe, if you want a toy, just say you want a toy. Be honest with me. You don't have to lie about this stuff. Well, like, I didn't know how you felt. And like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. How is it weird? Well, like, I have you. At that moment, I ended up like slamming my head up against the wall. And I remember I was so cringed out. And I think the funniest part about all of this was that I remember after the whole situation, I ended up going back into my office to record another story time. And before I walked in there, my girlfriend grabs me by the shoulder, turns me around and says, babe, do me one favor. What? Never tell this story. Seriously, I know you're gonna tell it. I won't. I promise I won't tell the story. Okay, perfect. Because as long as you're with me, you cannot tell the story. You understand? Yeah, I won't. I promise. And, well, yeah, now I'm telling the story. And the only reason is not because I'm breaking my promise, okay? She literally said word for word, as long as you're with me. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm single now. So this is kind of your story time. But I mean, if you guys enjoyed it, then subscribe for more embarrassing stories. Peace out, guys. Never judge a book by its cover. Honestly, this is a very common saying that I think is really unique, and honestly, I do believe in. Because this story I'm about to tell you guys, let's just say, has a lot of, well, judging a book by its cover. And let's just say what I find inside the book, or in reality, a girl that I was talking to, well, was more than it seemed. Also, on top of that, if you guys haven't already, I am starting a new series on this channel called High School Survival Guide, where basically I will be telling you guys ways to survive high school in the best way possible. So if you guys are already in high school or have questions about high school and you guys are going on to it, comment down below you guys' questions and I will gladly answer them in the series. And on top of that, did I already tell you guys that I am currently live streaming live on Twitch right now as we speak? So click in the link in the description down below to join us live. And let's get straight into this crazy story. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba and welcome back to another insane story. So this story takes place back in my grade 10 year. Grade 10 was the year where I was kind of just getting into the shebang of things. And by shebang, I do mean devil's tango. Because, you know, I was talking to a lot of girls that time. That was like almost one of my prime moments in high school, hitting grade 10, because that's when puberty really hit me. Hit me the right way, I guess, in a way. It was just kind of funny. But going on, though, I remember when I was walking around my high school in grade 10, I remember I was sitting in my cafeteria. Reminder, I did skip a class that day. That's why I said I had like a free block, when in reality, I was just skipping. And I remember I was just sitting in my cafeteria, kind of bored, just, you know, going on my laptop and playing video games until I realized that a girl walked into the cafeteria. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, don't judge a book by its cover. I remember when this girl walked in, she looked outstanding. She actually was beautiful. She was phenomenal. She had a really nice cherry. She had nice peach. Like she was really good. In my opinion, she was almost a 10 out of 10, which is very rare in these circumstances, people. Like high school, you don't find rare 10 out of 10s easy. Anyways, I remember I ended up looking at her and I closed my laptop immediately and walked up to her. I'm like, oh, hey, like, what's going on? She looks at me and she's like, oh, like, aren't you supposed to be in class right now? And I look at her and I'm like, are you a teacher? She looks at me and starts laughing laughing. She's like, no, like, I'm just part of the leadership club here at the school. Now, funny enough, leadership club, if you guys do know what that is, basically is when a bunch of high schoolers or people in school basically put on themselves this role to be in a leadership club. Honestly, in my opinion, I thought it was the most dumbest thing in the world because let's be real here. What kind of kid really needs leadership? Like, if I was a leader, I'd probably make an army of Devil's Tango people and just take over the universe. Actually, I should not be saying that. That sounds really bad. Anyways, going on. I remember as I was like talking to her and stuff, she was explaining to me how, you know, she wants to make the school a better place and that, you know, she's a very different type of person. In my opinion, I really didn't care. I thought she was just hot, so I just decided to talk to her. I don't really care about all the other stuff that I heard out of her mouth, but honestly, there was one word that really stuck out when she was talking to me though, and that was aliens. For some reason, she wanted to change our science unit to talk about aliens and how aliens exist. Now, guys, I'm gonna be honest, I don't believe aliens exist. I don't believe there is another living thing out of us. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if we get on the topic of aliens, I don't believe they're real. I think there's like maybe like a plant maybe in the universe that, oh, it's a living thing. It's an alien. Oh, but unless it walks and talks and wants to probe my booty cheeks, I don't really care for it. Anyways, going on. I remember she was just like, you know, talking about that entire time and I kind of didn't care. And I just told her, hey, like, I think you're hot though. Like, can I get your snap? Instantly, she kind of got like upset, but then she kind of smiled and just gave me her snap anyways, because I guess I was hot enough to get her snap. And then I realized that she ended up messaging me right after saying, hey, it's me. And then she looked at me IRL and she's like, yeah, that's me. And I'm like, just message me. What? I'm right beside. I don't know. She was weird. I really didn't care. But anyways, I walked away from her and, you know, throughout that entire day, we were snapping each other. Then later on that day, I want to say a week goes by and I'm not going to lie. She managed to make the school have a science unit where basically we talk about aliens existing in other forms of life. I don't know. It was absolute BS. But anyways, let's get to the juicy part of the story for once. I remember I messaged her and I'm like, hey, like I just had a science unit on, funny enough, aliens. And then she snapped me a photo of her smiling saying, what do you think? I think it's awesome. And then I snapped back saying, oh yeah, like it's cool, I guess. You know, it is what it is. And then after that, she started sending me photos of aliens. She sent me photos of like green aliens, aliens with tentacles and all this weird stuff. And she just has these saved on her phone for some reason. So I remember I looked at her and I'm like, okay, this is just very interesting. But anyways, me and her decided to hang out after school one time because, you know, she just wanted to hang out with me and talk about the cool unit. So I said, sure, why not? After school that day, me and her, we ended up going to the mall. We started walking around the mall. And afterwards, we started like looking around at stores and stuff. And there's one store that's called Spencer's. Now, no hate towards the store. The store, don't sue me, nothing. But we all know what's in the back of your guys' stores, okay? If you guys don't know what it is Devil's Tango toys, okay? Like they're literal toys. And I remember I went back there with her because she wanted to go in there and she ended up buying a tentacle. This tentacle was for, you know, doing the Devil's Tango. And I found it very odd. I remember I looked at her, I'm like, what are you doing with that? She's like, I mean, do you want to come after school to my place and see what I do with it? In my head, I was thinking, oh, you know, maybe she wants to, you know, just wants to do the Devil's Tango. So I said, sure, why not? I ended up going to her place, and when I do, I ended up, you know, going into her living room and sitting down. And when I was just sitting down, she opens the toy right in front of me. She opens the toy and starts like playing with it, which is really weird. And after that, she told me, hey, like, do you want to like maybe just go to the bedroom instead? I end up kind of shaking and I'm like, sure, I guess. And then we go up there. When I go up there, I remember she instantly, like, me and her, we start making out, and then she tosses me on the bed. And when she tossed me on the bed, I remember she told me, give me a sec, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and freshen up. She ends up going to the bathroom, and when she goes to the bathroom, I remember I kind of just sit there on her bed, all weirded out, just thinking, should I get undressed now? Should I stay? Should I go? I don't really know. Like, I'm just kind of curious of what I should do. And then I remember I decided to take a look on her nightstand because she had a nightstand. It had like comic books and stuff. And I remember I opened her nightstand and I see not one, but 4 toys for the Devil's Tango. But they weren't normal toys. They were all tentacles. All of them were alien-based Devil's Tango toys. Like, I don't know what to think, and I'm just weirded out. And I remember I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, she's gonna probe me. That day, I actually thought I was gonna get probed. And to this day, I thought maybe she could be an alien. Who knows? But I remember I'm just sitting there and I'm so weirded out and I'm terrified. And I'm like, okay, this is not good. I should not be here. I could die right now. I'm not gonna lie. I was just absolutely just terrified. And one thing led to another. She came out of her bathroom. She looked at me and she saw I had her nightstand open. And she looked at me and said, hey, like, if you want, can you put on this costume I have? She ends up opening her closet and some green alien suit that she wanted me to wear. And she hands me the tentacle that she bought that day at Spencer's and was like, I kind of want you to use this on me when you put it on. Is that okay? I look at her and I'm like, what? You want me to use a tentacle, put on a green suit, and do the Devil's Tango with you without using my own eggplant? Are you serious right now? Like, dude, I was just weirded out. I couldn't think. I just wanted to get out of there. So I remember I stood up and I told her, you know what? Just give me a minute. I need a time in the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. I look at her window and I see her windows on the 2nd floor. But somehow there was a roof that's kind of slanted that I could easily just escape from. So I remember I ended up opening her window. And luckily, I still have my clothes on. Thank God I didn't take my clothes off. But I ended up jumping out of her window. I ended up running to her front door, grabbing my shoes, and then I instantly just left. I left out of there so quick that I just couldn't. After like 10 minutes of me just heading home, she snaps me and she's like, how long are you going to be in the bathroom? And I just realized that I never told her I left. So I ended up sending her a picture of me at home saying, oh, I'm at home now. Sorry, I was busy. And then she instantly, and I mean instantly, blocks me right at that moment. I'm not gonna lie. Even though she was very attractive and stuff, the last thing I'm ever gonna do is wear an alien outfit. It's just not me. It's not my style, and I think it's absolutely disgusting. But don't get me wrong. Like I usually say, people have different kinks and stuff, so I can't argue there. Other than that, make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like I said earlier in the beginning of this video, I am starting a new series called the High School Survival Series. Make sure you guys do comment down below questions you guys have for high school. And overall, like I always say, fall for more embarrassing stories. Also, watch me live on Twitch. Bye!